Okay. Hi.
Hi.
So, tell us something about your business.
So we specialize in recycled textiles. So the whole product range that we do is made from recycled cotton. And now that cotton splits up into two parts, that is post-industrial waste and post-consumer waste. To sort of simplify that, post-industrial waste is basically when the fabric goes for garmenting or the leftover fabric, that is the post-industrial waste. And post-consumer waste is all the garments once they're used and discarded, that is all the post-consumer waste. So we take all of that, segregate into different qualities and recycle that further and spin it into yarns, adding some other synthetic fibers such as virgin cottons or recycled polys to give it that strength, and then that goes for various applications. And today we have scaled that up to close to 260 to 70 tons per day, making us one of the largest recycle spinners in the country. And with a count range again of that covers, like, we ideally become a one-stop shop solution for all open and recycled needs.
So, how did you come up with this vision?
So my family had always been into recycling for the last into spinning for the last 40 years. We got into recycling in the last we've been doing recycling for the last 2 decades, but more for the need purpose and because it was a cheap alternative, not because of the sustainability aspect then. I would say close to 5 to 7 years ago, when the whole sustainable cycle, the whole recycling really picked up as a concept, that's when we started. So that's when we set up this new company, KS Panels. It's about 4 years old, and here we are focused on creating fashion out of sustainable. We're basically doing sustainable fashion. So something that you might walk into a mall today and pick it up out of a store. So these are the type of products that we're working on here today. Something that's compliant, something that's quality consistent. Because when I walked into our mills and I saw that, okay, these are the type of things that we're doing, I had one thing in my mind, that I want to do products, I want to create products that I have access to, that I would want to use myself. And that is not something that we were doing, or a sort of product that I would use.
So, is there some kind of benefit you get from participating in such kind of exhibitions?
So definitely, so this was our first time at a CM, at a fabric show. I believe we are spinners, so we are mostly participating in yarn exhibitions globally, be it Premier Vision Paris, be it Bangladesh, be it Sri Lanka. I mean, globally, we are always present there to understand what the industry, how the industry is evolving, what it's moving towards. Because for us, it's very important to understand the industry trends, the fashion trends, because something that goes into development today, something that we need to be working on today, will ideally be in stores, say, a year later or maybe a year and a half later. So we have to sort of foresee that sort of thing. The Indian market foresees fashion and fabrics and apparel sourcing, and especially being a part of that panel gave us a good insight about, because there it was 5 of us and all of us from different components in the supply chain. One was from the digital passport side, one was a raw material supplier, a recycled spinner. There was one veteran who works in an association that's focusing on recycled material. And then we had, of course, a brand for us to sort of understand what we're doing right, what we need to do better.
So, from where do you get more revenue? From domestic or from?
Currently, I would say, see, it is we're the raw material supplier. We produce yarns. So ideally, I supply to a lot of vendors who are eventually exporting the product. For example, all our exports to the US are never going to be in the yarn or the fabric stage. They have to be converted to a garment or a product that is going to be shipped out. So when I talk about indirect exports, I believe my the exports would be higher as compared to the consumption that's happening in India because of the type of product that we're doing.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much.